Well, first of all, thank you all for being here today. I think most of you probably know decisions have been made with regard to the 3 officer-involved shooting cases that have been charged and pending in the office. Before I begin with my remarks, I want to make sure that all of us are respectful of the families of the individuals that lost their life. Remember, there was a 15-year-old boy that lost his life, a 60-year-old man who was mentally ill who lost his life, and a 40-year-old man who was a father and a husband. These families are grieving. This decision that has been made is difficult. No matter what this office does or says, these families are forever changed. Having said that, I want to first go through the process that this office went through, and then I will tell you the decisions that we've made in these 3 cases. There was a team of lawyers in this office, 7 lawyers that were gathered. We spent hundreds of hours reviewing the case file in each of these cases, and we reviewed it independently. So we looked at one case first. All 7 of us sat down and reviewed the facts, reviewed the dash cam, body cam, whatever evidence was available. And then we proceeded and did that with each of these 3 cases. The team of 7 lawyers that I had on this case are lawyers from all variety of backgrounds. There are some defense lawyers that reviewed the case. One was a judge advocate general in the military. We had lawyers that have experience in the AG's office and state government and prosecutors. All told, we have 160 years of experience that we're reviewing independently each of these 3 cases. In addition to the independent factual review that the office made, we enlisted and retained an expert to review these cases. Again, it was an independent review of each case on their facts. Once the expert reached a decision, and the expert, I guess I should explain that, the expert we hired was a use of force expert out of Oklahoma who did his independent review. The expert reviewed all the material that had been gathered during the investigation, so body cam, dash cam, interview reports, and reports from the police department that were gathered as a result of the investigation. Once Mr. Chapman finished his review of the case, then he issued reports to us about what his belief was and whether or not it was a justifiable use of force or an excessive use of force. And again, the expert has no ties to Oklahoma. That was an intentional decision made by this office to make certain it was an independent review. In addition to reviewing the facts of the case, in addition to reviewing, having an expert review the evidence in the case, we reviewed Oklahoma law. There is a specific statute, specifically 21 OS section 732. It's an Oklahoma statute that is entitled Justifiable Deadly Force by Officers. That statute sets forth the groundwork and the law that we have to file in evaluating whether an officer has used excessive force or the force that he used was justifiable. That law basically says that if a suspect is trying to escape or evade arrest, and the suspect is believed to have committed a crime involving serious bodily harm or the threat of serious bodily harm, force, even deadly force, can be justifiable. The statute also says that if an officer reasonably believes the force is necessary to protect him or herself from serious bodily injury or to protect somebody else from serious bodily injury, then deadly force can be justified. In addition to that, some of you may or may not know, but the Oklahoma Court of Criminal Appeals recently issued a decision in the state of Oklahoma versus John Mitchell. It's a case out of Kay County. It was issued, the opinion was issued in June of this year. That case gave us guidance about how the Court of Criminal Appeals is going to view and interpret 21 Section 732, which is the justifiable use of force statute. Based upon that law, guidance from the Oklahoma Court of Criminal Appeals, our experts' independent review of the case, and our evaluation of the facts, we have reached decision in each of the three cases. And let me just put a fine point on the review process again. I've told you who was involved in that. There were 7 of us with 160 years of experience as trial lawyers. But we spent hundreds of hours in reviewing the facts in each of these 3 cases. We had 2 and 3 meetings where we would sit down in this conference room and go over body cam footage or dash cam footage and ask questions. So I want to put a fine point on this, that this is not just a quick spur-of-the-moment decision. This was a very difficult, very fact-intensive decision and review. Based upon all of that information, as of today, in the case against Officer Chance Avery, the state of Oklahoma is going to dismiss the charges in that case. With regard to the 5 officers that were charged in the death of Stavian Rodriguez, that's Jared Barton, Corey Adams, Bethany Spears, Jonathan Scuda, and Bradley Pemberton, the decision by this office is that we were going to dismiss the charges in that case as well. The final case is a case involving Officer Sergeant Clifford Holman. Based again upon our review of the facts, based upon our experts' opinion and the law, we are going to dismiss the charges against Officer Holman. That is the decision that's been made. Those cases will be dismissed without prejudice. And I think it's important for each of you to know, moving forward from this point forward, anytime that there is an officer-involved shooting where a death results, those cases are going to be presented and investigated by the grand jury. I think that's what most metropolitan areas do, and I feel confident in the grand jury process that we can do a thorough review of the case and make decisions, again, that are evidence-based and consistent with the law in Oklahoma. Oh, without prejudice. Michael Fry is correcting me. I think I said without prejudice. Those cases are going to be dismissed with prejudice. My mistake, sorry.